everyone, CA Karthik here. Today I have in front of me one of the students' answer sheet, scanned copies of May 2024, wherein he has scored 86 in audit in May 2024 attempt. So today we will be discussing as to how he has presented the answer and what is the language that he has used in the exams. A lot of students were asking how to present the paper. So I thought, why not just showcase the presentation skills of a student who has scored very good marks, and 86 in intermediate audit is not a small thing, right? So people struggle to score 40. And somebody has scored 86, that is more than 2 times the passing marks. And let's dive into this answer sheet and see what he has done that he has got such good marks. Yeah, I have only the descriptive part in front of me. Okay, that is a 70 marks part. As you all know, in audit we have 2 parts, part A, part B, MCQ and descriptive. Yeah, MCQ consists of 30 marks and descriptive consists of 70 marks. So in front of me, I have the descriptive part of this paper, which is the 70 marks paper. So what we'll be doing is we'll also have the suggested answers side by side. We'll read the question, we'll read the suggested answers, and then we'll see how he has responded to the question. Shall we? Let's begin. First question here, APR and associates, or rather it is better if we go and see what question he has attempted first. Okay, first question he has attempted is 2A. So let's go and see question number 2 and then come back to the other questions. Right, question number 2A, CAQ is the engagement partner for the audit of a departmental store. As a part of the risk assessment procedure, he wants to make inquiries of the management and others within the entity. What kind of information can the auditor get by inquiring from the following? So what audit procedure the auditor put? Inquiry. And inquiry comes as a primary procedure if you have studied properly, or if you remember, or if you know chapter number 3, which talks about risk assessment and internal control. There, in risk assessment procedure, what is the procedure that we can put? Inquiry is one of the procedures, and inquiry from personnel within the entity. So there we had many lists there, right? In that they have asked only 4 people, and for 4 marks they have asked. So let us see how the student has answered. Okay, so what here in the suggested answers they have given? Inquiries of management and others within the entity. Inquiries directed toward internal audit personnel. Okay, what is that? Provide information about internal audit procedures performed, relating to design and effectiveness of entities' internal control, and whether management has responded to findings from those procedures. Clear? So let us go and see what he has written. Internal audit personnel provide information about internal audit procedure performed relating to design and effective implementation of internal control and management responses to their findings. If you see, it is not 100% same, but he has conveyed the messages. So there were some key words given here. Given in the sense, what we in the class do, see, these should be there. Clear? If these are there, so you are conveying the message in the right way. Clear? Because at intermediate level, how can someone expect 100% professional language when you are new to the subject? Clear? But there are certain things which you have to write in the answer, which conveys the core of the question or of the subject matter. Clear? Second, inquiries directed towards in-house legal counsel may provide information about such matters as litigation, compliance with laws and regulations, knowledge of fraud, suspected fraud, etc. Right? And with whom? Business partners, and the meaning of contract. So here what he has written, in-house legal counsel provides information about any litigation, claims, any suspected fraud or knowledge of fraud or arrangements between business partners. Yeah? So it's not that if they have listed everything you have to write. If you write at least some, clear, they know that, okay, you are understanding what we are asking. Okay. Third, Inquiries directed towards marketing or sales personnel may provide information about changes in the entity's marketing strategies, sales trends, or contractual arrangement with its customers. What has he written? Marketing and sales personnel provide information about their marketing strategy, sales trend, and contractual arrangements between their customers. So there's absolutely very thin line of difference here. Okay. Fourth one, inquiries directed to information system personnel may provide information about system changes, system or control failures, or other information system related risk. What has written? Yes, information about system failures, changes, and other IT related risks. Clear? So here IS related risk and IT related risk, information system and information technology is what he has written. But basically, he's conveying the message here. He's conveying exactly what the institute wants to understand. Okay. So obviously, words are important, but not like 100% you have to match with the institute module. And he has got full marks. 4 marks he has got. This is for question number 2A. Clear? Right. Then question number 2B. What is question number 2B? CAZ Auditor of MNO Limited during the course of audit assesses a risk of material misstatement regarding the litigation and claims involving the company. CAZ is not convinced with the management's explanation regarding the status of the litigation or claims. It is considered unlikely that the entity's external legal counsel will respond appropriately to a letter of general inquiry. The auditor shall send a letter of specific inquiry requesting the external legal counsel to communicate directly with the auditor. List out the inclusions in the letter of specific inquiry. In certain circumstances, the auditor may judge it necessary to meet with entity's external legal counsel to discuss the likely outcome of the litigations or claims. What will be the auditor's reporting responsibility if the management refuses to give permission to the auditor to communicate or meet with the external legal counsel? Now, if you can try to recollect from which chapter and which standard is this. Okay. If you're not able to recall it, chapter number 4, audit evidence, essay number 501, audit evidence specific considerations. In the 3 specific considerations we'll be talking about: inventory, litigation and claims, segment reporting. In the second type, that is litigation and claim, second area is the question on, which is for 4 marks. Clear? Which in the class I keep telling, right? Everyone will tell inventory is important, inventory is important. Every student also might assume that inventory is more, so that is more important, and litigation and claims comes from nowhere. Clear? So do not do selective studies. I repeat, do not do selective studies. Clear? Right. So what is the answer that is given, and what is the answer he has written? Question is too big, sir. What is this? What is the content? They are asking, letter of specific inquiry should contain some points. What are those points? Number 1, list of litigation and claims. Okay. Has he written? Yes, list of litigation and claims. Wherever available, management's assessment of outcome of each of the identified litigation and claims. So here, management's assessment of outcome and its estimate of financial implications, including the cost. Has he written? Here, management's assessment about their outcome of each identified litigation and claim and their estimate of cost for financial implication. Financial implication is there, estimated cost is there. Of, for, it's just a small grammatical error, okay, for which they have considered it as valid because you are conveying the concept. Do not be in a mindset that, sir, I don't know English, that's why I'm not able to score marks. Clear? If you are able to convey what is there in the material, understand the concept if you can give it to the institute, it would be good enough. Clear? It is not that everyone who has cleared CA has next level of English language at their disposal. Clear? Right? So you have to understand the mindset of the paper setter as well as of the valuer. Okay. Third, request that entity's external legal counsel confirm the reasonableness of management's assessment and provide the auditor with further information if the list is considered incomplete or incorrect. What has he written? requires that management's assessment of outcome and estimate are reasonable or not, and any other information which legal counsel considers as incomplete or incorrect. Clear? So there are certain keywords which he has covered and good to go, right? So he has got 2 marks here, he has got 1 mark here. There's one more particular response they have asked for. What is that? In certain circumstances, the auditor may also judge it necessary to meet with the legal counsel to discuss the likely outcome. Further, if management refuses to give the permission, see, he has to give the permission. I'm not saying he has means you have to force him, but we have to take their permission. Now, students will ask, sir, why can't we directly go? Why should we ask their permission? Boss, if you remember chapter number 11, ethics, there, in case of SA 210 agreeing to the terms of engagement, management and auditor will have a terms of engagement. In that, management's responsibility will be maintaining internal control system and preparing financial statements. These are all their responsibility. One more responsibility will be there, providing information, additional information, unrestricted access to people within the entity. So for people outside the entity, not unrestricted access, you have to ask their permission. Here, that is the reason here the clause can come, the thought can come, why should we ask permission? Clear? We should ask because only for internal people there is unrestricted access, you can ask with anyone. Okay. So if management refuses to give the auditor permission to communicate or meet with the entity's external legal counsel, then or the legal counsel refuses to respond or is prohibited from responding, auditor is unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence by performing alternate procedure. SA 705. SA 705 audit reporting, unable to obtain. If it is material but not pervasive, qualified. Material and pervasive, disclaimer of opinion, dope opinion you have to give. The auditor shall modify the opinion in the auditor's report in accordance with SA 705. Clear? So now they have not told exactly what, but unable to obtain Saila, we have two types of opinion that we can give. One is qualified, one is disclaimer. You take a call about pervasiveness and then go ahead with your opinion. Alternatively, if auditor is able to perform alternate procedures, can obtain sufficient evidence, then he can give unmodified opinion. Right? Now this has he covered is a question. Okay, let's try and see. Auditor's reporting responsibility if management refuses to give permission to the auditor to communicate or meet with the external counsel, he shall evaluate the implication on audit opinion in the auditor's report and modify his opinion in accordance with SA 705. So he has given a vague answer, he has covered there. He has not given exactly if they give you the permission, if they don't give you the permission, you have to do alternative procedures, and then unable to obtain evidence, then modify as per SA 705. If you are able to obtain, give unmodified opinion. This clarity he has not given, and that is why they have not given him that particular marks, and therefore he obtained 3 marks here as per my assessment. Okay. All right. Next is 2D. 2D. Now, B Limited is a company manufacturing bed sheets and pillow covers. They have appointed Messrs. C & Co. Chartered Accountants as their auditors. The auditor is establishing audit strategy with his team members. As the work progress, they came to know that company has diversified its business and now they are also planning to manufacture wooden furniture. The auditor, in his professional judgment, considers this to be a significant factor in directing the engagement team's effort. Give examples of factors that in auditor's professional judgment are significant in directing engagement team's effort. Chapter number 2, audit planning. In audit planning, there, if you remember in my class, there was in chapter number 2, right side of the page, there were 4 points. In that third point, we have a second or third line somewhere. We have this particular answer here. Let's try and see. Factors which will affect engagement team's effort. Yes. What are the factors? Volume of transaction, which may determine whether it is more efficient for the auditor to rely on ICS or no. So here, volume of transaction is important. Number 2, significant industry development such as industry regulation, reporting requirements, significant changes in financial reporting framework and other significant relevant developments. Has written those. Number 1, volume of transaction there, significant industry development there, changes in AFRF there, changes in legal environment there. So for 4 marks, some of the students will come and ask how many pages we should write. Clear? And look at this. And look at how much he has scored. 3 marks he has scored in this particular question. Clear? So, yes, he has not scored 4, but 3 out of 4 is like 75%. Clear? Why? Because little explanation he has not given, directly jumped into the point, right? So, for that, they have given 3 marks, and here there are, see here, such as example is given, such as example is given, such as example is given. So, he has written the main core area, but he has not given one example for these points, and that's the reason why marks would have been deducted. All right, that's your question number 2. And 2C. Question number 2C is about inherent limitations of audit. That is nature of FR, nature of AP audit procedures. Then audit is not an investigation, future events, right? Then timeliness of financial reporting and decrease in relevance of information. These 5 points you're supposed to write, but he did not write. He wrote only future events. So if I see, this is the last question since he has attempted in question number 2. That means he was underconfident in writing this question, or he was not knowing the answer. He knew only 1 or 2 points, and that is what he has tried to elaborate. Same points. See, future events, cannot predict the future, right? Any indication about material uncertainty cannot be viewed as a guarantee. Only 1 point he has written out of 5, and that's why they have given 1. In the class, this limitation again and again we'll be talking about. Clear? And total for question number 2, he got 11 out of how much? Out of how much? 4, 4, 3, 3. That is, out of 14, he has scored 11. Clear? Right? Okay. Next is question number 3. Question number 3, 3A. CAE is auditor of LM Limited. Before commencing with the current year's audit, he initiated planning for the audit. Planning includes the need to consider certain matters before the identification and assessment of ROMM. Enumerate such matters. So planning includes need to consider certain matters. So this is the key word for us in the identification of question, right? So what we have to identify? Let's see the answer. Nature of planning is a continuous process. Hold on. Continuous and iterative process. It includes the need to consider prior to the identification and assessment of ROMM such matters like what? Analytical procedures as RAP, general understanding of legal and regulatory framework applicable and how they are complying, materiality determination, expert involvement and performance of other RAP. Clear? So this is what they have written. Let's see what he has written. Yes, covered. Analytical procedure, yes. Determining materiality, yes. Understanding the framework that applicable and to the entity and how it is complying, yes. Experts involvement, other procedures as RAP. Done. Done. And look at how much he has got. 4 marks, right? The planning involves discussion among the audit members, discuss with management about preliminary and planning, etc. He has written this, but they have not considered it because not required. This is the one where they were focusing, and that's why I tell in the class, don't write extra. You are not going to get marks for that extra. What has been asked, you have to write that. If I ask you what did you have for lunch, don't tell me what you had for breakfast, what you had for dinner last night and all. Lunch means lunch only. Here and here 4 marks they have given. Next is 3C. You are appointed as the auditor of a company manufacturing paints. The company has a robust system of internal control. Most of the controls in the company are automated and they are working effectively. However, in certain situations, manual elements in internal controls are more suitable. What are the circumstances where manual elements in internal control may be more suitable? C. Manual elements versus automated elements in entities internal control. Where do we need? See, manual elements in ICS may be more suitable in the following circumstances. Should we put automation or should we put manual? Here, so in these areas, manual elements will be more suitable is what they are telling. Which areas? Where judgment and discretion are required. Large, unusual or non-recurring transactions are there. Circumstances where errors are difficult to define, anticipate or predict. and in changing circumstances that require a control response outside the scope of an existing control, and in monitoring the effectiveness of automated controls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. What has he written? Large, unusual, non-recurring transaction, yes. Areas where risk cannot be defined, predicted, or anticipated by automated controls. The word is error, but he has written risk. So that means obviously there is a risk of error. Okay. In some situations, changes in circumstances that control response falls outside the scope of their work. Whose their work means? See, if you simply write their work, you may not get marks. He has clearly told their work means automated controls when monitoring the effectiveness of the automated controls. Yeah. Next, 3D. 3D is with respect to SA 610. I told in the class, I remember SA 610 is an addition to the syllabus. It was not there in the old syllabus. So one question you can 100% expect from SA 610 is what I had told students, and there you go. Clear. Then SA 610, what is the answer? Coordination between the external auditor and internal audit function, IAF, the department, is effective when? When is it effective? Coordination between one person and the department, how is it? When is it effective? Number one, when discussion takes place at appropriate intervals throughout the period. The external auditor informs the internal audit function of significant matters that may affect the function, and external auditor is advised of and has access to relevant reports of function and is informed of any matters that come to the attention of the function when such matters may affect the work of external auditor. Nothing. Point number 2 says, I have to tell him, if I am the external auditor, I have to tell him anything that affects him. Third point, you tell me that affects me. Only 3 points. Clear? As written, let's try and understand. Appropriate intervals. Discussion should take at appropriate intervals. Significant matter, external auditor should inform. Should have the relevant access to the records regarding by the function, and external auditor should be informed about significant matters, if any, relating to the work of external auditor. So he has got full 3 marks for this. 3 out of 3. Next is 3B. 3B is for 4 marks. So let's see what he has done. The management of PQ Limited changed during the period under audit. Mr. G, an auditor, at the time of receiving the written representation on the management responsibilities from the management, was in a dilemma related to the return period of covered by the WR. Further, new management was of the view that they can give written representation from the date they took over and not for the prior period when old management were managing the affairs of the company. Guide the auditor and the management in this respect. Yeah. So it's about SA 580, written representation. Right. So let's see. As per SA 580 WR, the date of the written representation shall be as near as practicable to, but not after the date of audit report. We have discussed that date of WR. It is like this. We are drawn number line also. This is audit report date. If this is audit report date, WR date should be somewhere here. It should not be here. Clear? So it should be as near as practicable to the audit report date. The WR shall be for all financial statements and period referred in the auditor's report. Furthermore, because the audit is considered with the events occurring up to the date of auditor's report that may require adjustment or disclosure, this is called subsequent events. Or in your accounting language, events occurring after balance sheet date. Clear? Adjusting event requires adjustment, non-adjusting event requires disclosure. The WR are dated as near as practicable to, but not after the date of auditor's report on the financial statements. The WR are for all the periods referred in the auditor's report, because management needs to reaffirm that the WR it previously made with respect to the prior periods remains appropriate. They should tell whether it is appropriate or give me new WR. Situation may arise where current management were not present during all periods. Such persons may assert that they are not in a position to provide some or all of the WR because they were not in the place. This is appropriate. This fact, however, does not diminish such a person's responsibilities for the financial statements as a whole. Even though I am new to the management, I can tell you, see, I can't give you WR for that, but I am still responsible for financial statements preparation. Accordingly, the requirement for the auditor to request from them WR that cover the whole still applies. I can still ask because you're still responsible. Management is required to provide the WR for all the periods even when they were not present. What has he written? How much he has got? He has got only 1 mark. Why? Because again, when he has written here, that means at the end of the question he has written, see, look at the presentation strategy. What answers here he knows, he has written first. What he does not know, he has written later. Clear? So they have to reconfirm, request reconfirmation in the following scenarios. He has given scenarios, but they have not asked for scenarios. That's the reason why they have given wrong. I did not ask you for scenario. I only have given you the scenario. You have to judge and tell me what am I supposed to do. Clear? So he has only, in this answer, only 1 point was right. That is, WR should be obtained before the date of audit report. For this, they have given 1 mark. You have not mentioned about the current management, their responsibility. They should still reaffirm. Only reconfirmation. He has given the provision. He has given what the standard says. Clear? But you have to also tell what they should do. No, you have told what standard should do, but you have told what they should do. Clear? Right? That's the reason why he has given only 1 mark. I'm just imagining small errors if the student had corrected it rather than 86. It's my student only, right? Our recorded student has achieved this feat. I was just thinking he could have exceeded the 90 mark limit if he had covered the small areas where he could improve on, and it would have been another great achievement to get more than 90 at CA level at intermediate. Right. Next question is question number 4A. Question number 4A is all about what is a requirement. State the factors that can be considered by the firm for selecting specific items from a population and also specific items that can be included for such testing. Sir, here the trap for students can be the moment you read population, you will tell it is sampling and you will apply SA 530. Correct? Which is wrong. The question is on SA 500 audit evidence. There, if you remember in our class, we had 3 columns. Right? Last one was sampling, and we never did sampling in SA 500. In SA 500, we never discussed about sampling. We just said sampling is so and so. Discussion will be done in SA 530. Clear? But there, in the second column, we had selecting specific items. What are the factors and how we have to go about it? Correct? Right. Here, what are the factors? Understanding of the entity, ROMM assessment, and characteristics of population being tested. And specific items may include what? High value or key items, all items over a certain amount, items to obtain information. Why? To obtain information about matters such as nature of entity, nature of transactions. Clear? If you want, I'll just show you here. Let me just see here. Selecting items for testing. This is audit sampling. Clear? Selecting specific items. There are entity understanding, assessed ROMM, characteristics of population, high value items over a certain amount, examining items. Why? To obtain information about what? Nature of entity, nature of transaction. Clear? And this is what he has written here. Risk, understanding, characteristics, high value over certain amount, obtain information, nature of entity, nature of transaction. And that's why he has got full marks, 4 out of 4. Where has he explained extra? How much is required, that much he has given the information. Then question number 4B. Mr. L is a principal auditor of OP Limited. There are several divisions of OP Limited that are audited by other auditors. State the procedures that Mr. L should perform to obtain SAI that the work of other auditors is adequate for the principal auditor's purpose. Principal auditor, other auditor, OAPA. OAPA. Where? Essay 600. Where have we seen? Branch audit, chapter number 8, reporting, standard based part. We divide audit report into two chapters. If my students remember, one in the standard way, one is in non-standard way. Non-standard means what? Caro we do, reporting responsibility under section 143 of Companies Act 2013. Standard we do 700 series, 700, 701, 705, 706, 710, 299, 600. Clear? So these 7 standards we cover in the standard portion, and that essay 600 based question is this. Clear? Right? Okay, sir. What is the answer? Answer is simple. You have to first make arrangements, sufficient arrangements, clear, for what? Coordination. Also, some special consideration points you have to talk. Advise the other auditor about significant accounting and auditing requirements. Then this point is what is very important to understand, and in our class I have given it as a note. Okay, the principal auditor might discuss with the other auditor the audit procedures applied or review a written summary of his procedures and findings, which may be in the form of a complete questionnaire or checklist. May also wish to visit the other auditor. Clear? See, I'm not going to explain the answer or the concept here. Here I'm just telling you what is the answer, how he has written. So you might feel it little faster, okay, because I'm not explaining the concepts here. Okay, for that you have a separate classes. Okay. Okay, sir. Here also there are certain things which he should have been covered. Advise the use of his work. Clear? So let's see whether he has written. Advise the other auditor the use of his work there. Make sufficient arrangements for coordination at planning stage. Special consideration you have to tell him. Timetable. Advise about requirements. Clear? He missed that one point of visiting and getting to know his procedures and findings. That for that he has not gotten any marks, so he got 3 marks for that. If he had written that, he would have got 4 marks. Clear? Right, I'll just show you which part I am referring to. So this is branch audit part. If you see here, see, PA cast OA is a mnemonic I gave you. Advise other auditor, make arrangements for coordination at planning stage, special consideration like intercomponent transaction, timetable for completion, advise OA about requirements. Look at the note. PA should discuss with OA about procedures applied, review written summary. If required, visit the OA. Sir, for this portion, 4 marks. Here. Yes. All right. Okay. Next question will be 4A. 4A is done. 4D, I think. 4D, sorry. XY and Associates are auditors of PQR Limited, which provides electrical components on project basis. The purchases are huge, and the auditor wants to make sure that all the purchases made during the period are recorded and there is no understatement, no overstatement. For this purpose, the team have performed procedures like cut-off test, correct treatment of goods in transit, obtaining WRN, performing analytical procedures. What are the procedures required to be performed to obtain evidence as to overall reasonableness of purchase quantity and price? Now, this is the requirement. Chapter number 5, items of financial statements. In that, sir, purchases, income statement caption purchases. In that, they're asking about analytical procedure, consumption analysis, composition. Remember, it is there. See, consumption analysis, stock composition analysis, ratio, quantitative reconciliation. These 4 points is what we specifically have to apply as analytical procedure. Let's see what he has done. Consumption analysis, yes. Stock composition, quantitative analysis, ratio analysis. He has got full marks for this. Full marks for this. Yeah. So you'll have to know what they're asking. Requirement is very important. See, if you simply had read the requirement, your mind will be mapped towards that particular topic first. Then you can think. What happens when the story is given is you tend to divert in the story. You tend to distract in the story. Yeah. Right. Next. Question number 4C. Lovely question. Lovely question. Practical. Okay. LD Limited has given below loans of the following borrowers during the financial year 23-24. Mr. B, an auditor, wants your guidance regarding additional regulatory information required to be provided under Companies Act 2013. He has given borrowers maximum loan granted during the year 23-24, outstanding loan as at 31st March 2024 in lakhs. This is maximum loan given. This is outstanding. Okay. What do they want? They want reporting requirements. Half the students would not know what to do with this. Clear? So they would have told report both, which is actually, when both has been given, yes, in our class in detail we have discussed what is maximum loan given during the year, what do you mean by outstanding, how do we give. In this answer is what you have to give: maximum, aggregate and percentage as per CARO 2020. Clear? As additional regulatory requirements, the following disclosure shall be made: where loans and advances in the nature of loans are granted to promoters, directors, KMP and the related parties as defined under Companies Act, either severally or jointly with any other person, that is repayable on demand or without specifying any terms of repayment. Here I had given example of you giving 100 rupees to your friend. Do you put any conditions? No. With that example we had continued this topic. Here, so how do you have to report? Type of borrower, amount of loan outstanding and percentage of total loans in the nature of loans. So outstanding how much? 15, 25, 5, 10. Percentage 15 by 120. Where is 120 given, sir? This column. 15 by 120, 25 by 120, 5 by 120, 10 by 120, 65 by 120. This way you'll have to report. Clear? Which one? Here. See. Promoter, director, KMP, related party. Others not required for us. That doesn't, here what mistake you can make? Others not required. No. So 120 minus 65 we will do. No. Total loans is 120. But only for these, tell me how much. Clear? Very good question. Very good question. What has written? See, he does not know. Right? So above table is should contain, the column should contain the list of borrower. List of borrower is there, aggregate percentage. Clear? So here aggregate means he should have written outstanding. All right. For that, because they wrote this, 1 mark has been given for what? The third column should show the percentage of loan to total loans granted. We should have solved it. We had solved it. 1 mark. See there, 1 mark he lost. There it would have been added to 87. Here he lost a couple of marks, right? So again 87 plus 2, 89, somewhere around 90, 95 would have scored. Right. Next is 6A. CAM is an engagement partner of the firm and is auditing the financial statements of a listed entity. The audit firm has determined that engagement quality control review is required for his assignment. Discuss the responsibilities as an engagement partner. See, here we are talking about engagement partner. Chapter number 11, ethics. There, two topics are there, SQC1 and SA220. Both are very similar, identical twins. But SQC1 is for the firm, SA220 is for the engagement. And here in SQC1, we never call him engagement partner, CEO or managing partner we call. Right? Or whoever has the responsibility of the firm. Here when it comes to specific audit engagement, SA means audit of historical financial information. Specific person who leads the audit is called engagement partner, and we are talking about engagement partner. And they have only told SA220, okay, for 4 marks, or they have given option in the question itself. Sanskar Foundation is an NGO for orphan children. They have received voluntary contribution of 50 lakhs from the promoters, specifying that 20 lakhs are towards the corpus contribution and 30 lakhs to a revolving fund. Explain the term corpus and revolving fund. 100% sure most of the students would have gone for this, because you have to explain what is corpus and revolving fund. Here, what has he written? Corpus and revolving fund. So what is corpus fund? The donors are generally required to specify whether the donation given by them shall form part of corpus of the NGO or no. Such contributions are generally given with the reference to the total funds required by an NGO. The objective of a contribution or grant towards a revolving fund is to rotate the amount by giving temporary loans from the fund to other NGO or beneficiaries for their projects and then recover the loan to give temporary loans again and so on. This is called revolving fund. Okay. However, any interest earned from the beneficiary from the revolving fund could be either added back to the fund or credited to the income and expenditure account depending on the restrictions laid down by the authority providing the contribution. Right. So this is what they have written. Let's see what he has written. He has got 2 marks for this because he has just explained one sentence. Fund contributed to the capital of the NGO is known as corpus contribution. Here, the amount of 20 lakhs is the capital contributed by the promoter. Revolving fund, which will be given as a temporary loan and to other NGO or other beneficiary, he has given, but he has not spoken about the interest part. Okay, so for that matter, he has lost that 2 marks here. So again, see here also, if he had written little extra, would have got 2, 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, that is 3, 3 plus 2, 5. So 86 plus 5, 91. Next is 6B. 6B is one of the easiest questions that you can ever get here. MNB bank advance certain loans guaranteed by government. State the norms for asset classification and income recognition for such loans. 4 marks. Two points. If you write 4 marks, you are getting central government guaranteed advance and state government guaranteed advance. Clear? Very easy. 4 marks. It's like free hit. Right? So government guaranteed advance, central government, where guarantee is not invoked or repudiated, classified as standard but regarded as NPA for income recognition. If it is state government, if it is overdue for more than 90 days, for both provisioning and income, we consider NPA. Clear? He has got full 4 marks for that. He has written the exact points. Okay. Then 6C. 6C talks about what? State the documentation required by the auditor regarding misstatements identified during the audit. Now, the moment you see audit documentation, you will go and tell, yes, say 230, chapter number 6. No. Regarding what? Misstatements identified during the audit, yes, say 450. You're evaluating the misstatements. They have given an alternate solution also for the previous question. Go through it. Right? Documentation regarding misstatements. Amount below which misstatements would be regarded as clearly trivial. Trivial means very small, minimal, ignore. Misstatements accumulated during the audit and whether they have been corrected, and auditor's conclusion as to whether uncorrected misstatements are material individually or in aggregate. Look at this. Clearly trivial, accumulated misstatement, whether they are corrected, basis for conclusion about uncorrected misstatements. Full marks, he has got 3 marks. No extra explanation, no under explanation also here. 60. Question number D. JK Limited has opened a new manufacturing unit and for that they want plant and machinery. Since the capital outflow will be huge, they are considering taking it on lease. They have approached several parties and have shortlisted one of them who is ready to give the plant on lease for 11 years, which is approximately the estimated economic life of the asset. As per the agreement, JK Limited will bear the insurance and maintenance expense of the asset. Which kind of lease agreement have JK Limited entered into, and what is the ownership status, the accounting treatment and the tax benefits of the same? So this is chapter number 9, different entities. Leasing company. Here there are 2 types of lease. Technically the concept comes from your AS 19. Okay, that is leases, accounting for lease transactions. There are 2 types, operational lease and financial lease, and there are certain conditions for financial lease, right? So here the main eye-catching area for us should be this. They lease for how many years? 11 years, which is approximately the estimated economic life of the asset. So this gives me a hint of finance lease. Let's see what the answer is. So they have taken a plant on lease for 11 years, which is approximately so and so, so and so. Same will be considered as finance lease as per AS 19, since the lease term is for a major part of the economic life, even if the title is not transferred. Okay. So status of ownership. Ownership transfer option at the end is with lessee. Title may or may not be eventually transferred. Accounting treatment like loan arrangement. You can claim depreciation and interest both in case of finance lease. In operating lease, you can't claim depreciation and interest. You are claiming as a rent. Operating lease is like rent. Finance lease is like loan. Both interest in P&L you can claim as well as depreciation and show it under the assets, leased assets. Okay, heading will be little different. That's what he has told here. Okay, and he has got 3 marks for it. That is full marks he has got, and therefore 12 marks he has got in question number 6. 12 out of 14. Excellent. Now comes to the last question, that is question number 1, which means it gives me a hint that this student was not confident in answering first question because he did not know the first question. Okay, he started with question number 1, D. Let's go to question number 1. Okay, so here let's try and understand the requirement. Check the validity of the action. Okay, that means it's a purely case. CAB, an auditor, after completion of the busy audit season, was occupied in assembling of final audit file SQC1, SA220, SA230. In 3 areas we have seen assembly. Clear? If not, at least SQC we have discussed in 3 places. SQC1 and SA230 we have seen. Clear? In one of his client, first of all, he started preparing various documents of that client and then kept those documents in various folders. He was preparing documents as well as audit file in paper form because he believed that it is mandatory. This is one of the case point where I have to note. He could complete documentation as well as assembling final audit file after 3 months from the date of audit report. Generally he retains for 4 years. See, we know SQC1 also we have studied, SA230 also we have studied. Within 60 days of audit report date, you are supposed to assemble, and retention period is 7 years. Clear? They have asked for 3 marks. Easy question, easiest question. But the presentation should be nice. He got full marks for this. Clear? Look at the presentation. Facts. CAB complete documentation as well as assembling file after 3 months from the date of audit report and kept such file only for 4 years. Straight away told facts. Better presentation would have been put numbers and give points. Okay. Provision. As per SQC1, assemble the audit file on the timely basis. The appropriate time for the completion of audit file is less than or equal to. So basically within 60 days from the date of audit report, and retention period should be 7 years from the date of audit report. Provision he has given. Conclusion. Action of CAB is wrong. He should assemble the file within the time limit as per authorized by SQC1. Authorized not needed as mentioned in SQC1 is good, and he should also retain the file for the period of 7 years from the date of audit report. It is not mandatory to keep the audit file in paper form. It can be in electronic form or other storage media. And see how he has got the attention where he has put in quotes. Underlining also should be fine. Okay, or even capital letters if you write, it should be fine. Clear? For which he got 3 marks. Super. Super. Next, 1A. What is the requirement here? In light of the above, mention the matters that should be generally be considered while preparing an audit program. Simple. So what are the matters that are required while designing audit program? If you remember, in audit program, there are certain points where I've told you, stay within your limits, but don't write this, right? Stay within your scope. This is how I explained. Clear? So it's given there, right? Fact is written. Okay, provision he has given. Evolving one audit program for all businesses under all circumstances are impracticable. Very good. See here. Why? They would have mentioned APR and Associates, a CA firm, are appointed as one of the auditors of Time Limited and BX Limited. The volume and nature of business of both the companies are entirely different. CAR is the engagement partner for BX Limited. CAP is engagement partner for Time Limited. CAR formulates a program for conducting audit of BX Limited. He suggests to use the same audit program for Time Limited, but CAP of the opinion that this program will not be useful for Time Limited. Very good. The observation skills are wonderful here. He observed that this point is very, very important. That is why here they have given that additional attention. Yeah. Also, the factor that maybe the situation for preparing different audit program are varies in size, nature, transaction. Now these things were not required, okay? But what is more important is this matters that should generally be considered while preparing audit program, right? So stay within the limit, meaning stay within the limit of scope and work, preparing written audit program, get enough evidence, include your audit objectives and sufficient information, relevance of procedures, possibilities of risk. It's actually possibilities of error, but risk of error is what the student mean. The coordination of procedures relating to specific items. Conclusion: yes, the AP's emphasize for different audit program is correct. These should be different audit program for time limited. Full 4 marks, yes. Yeah. So to the point, nothing, no beating around the bush. Only here these portions were little extra is what I felt. Okay. Right. Next is question number 1B. This is your AS2 question. Easy question. What is that? See, some of the things you have to exclude. Clear? So what here? Provision as per AS2, wastage should not be formed part of cost of inventory. So what is the total cost here? This plus this. So 25 lakh, 23,000 covered. Okay. And then valuation cost or NRV, whichever is lower. What is the NRV? NRV is 25, 24, cost is 25, 23. Therefore, the valuation will be on 25, 23. So he has got full marks for this. Again, it's a fixer question. Okay. Question number 1A. Done. Now 1D. 1C is left. Mr. Z at the time of appointment as an independent director in EF, a listed company, came to know that Companies Act has placed a greater emphasis on effective implementation and reporting on internal controls for a listed company. He wants to know the responsibilities as casted under Companies Act 2013 with regards to IFC for directors, independent directors and audit committee as per 134, 149, 177 respectively. This is actually this particular question is a tricky question in question number 1. In the entire question paper, I don't see any question which can give you a little tough time except 1C. Okay, so the answer will be 134.5. That is your board report. It has come from your even Companies Act. That is your paper number 2. There also you should have observed a little. Okay, so listed companies in the director's responsibility statement, DRS, clear, you should have mentioned that IFC has been laid down. 149 subsection 8. 149 subsection 8 is your director's chapter, right? Company and independent directors shall abide by the provisions specified in schedule 4, which lays on code for independent directors. In this, you shall satisfy themselves on the integrity of financial information and financial control. Then 177 audit committee. Every audit committee also shall specify whether evaluation of IFC and risk management system is done or no. Clear? Yes. He has not written, he has just explained what is internal financial control, right? So he has given a vague answer as to auditor may required by the statute. They have only given you which statute. In the question only they have given you 134, 149, 177. Clear? But understandable, he did not want to quit. And that's why he wrote this question as at the end. But he still scored 11 out of 14. And if you see, he has written only 19 pages. Only 19 pages. And he, out of 70, he has secured 56. Here, he secured 56 and the total comes up to around 86. Right? Now, the grace marks is given or no, that we are not aware about it. We do not know. Here he got 28 in MCQ and he got 56 in descriptive, which makes to 84. All right, so 84, 86, you can consider more than 80, and getting more than 80 in audit is a very, very, very commendable achievement. Here I am so proud of the student for studying. When I asked the student how preparation was done, they prepared conceptually. Clear? More than that, he revised it at least 3-4 times. Okay, that is through the marathon which we have uploaded on our YouTube channel. He has watched that marathon 3 to 4 times to get the idea and to get the hold on the content, not on the concept. Clear? So this is how you can present your answer. Okay, And in the current attempt, September 2024, there is another student who has scored 72 marks in audit. Clear? If uh, if possible, let me I'll possibly share the presentation skills of that students as well, which might help you. So this is a common question and most asked question for me. How should I prepare for audit? That's the first question. But apart from that, how should I present the answers in the exam? There you go. It's right in front of you. I hope I helped you in answering or the doubt that you had how to present the paper. Study well. I hope you score very good marks in audit. Let's continue mission exemption in audit. Thank you so much. Have a great day.